Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read through for Kubera Season 2 episodes 45, 46, and 47 at least. I'd also like to do 48. I want to do 4 chapters this week. If the first 3 take like over an hour, then maybe I'll just leave it at those 3 and do the last 4 of this Rift arc next time, but I'd like to do 4 this time and then do the last 2 and the Q&A special next week. But again, we'll see how things go. I'm incredibly excited for Kubera because it's one of my favorite things that I've been reading on the channel. In the history of the channel, really, I think it's one of my favorite things I've been doing. So, I've really loved Kubera. I want to shout out Pyro Prima because he just started reading Kubera on his channel today. So go check out Pyro Prima if you want. If I remember, I will put a link in the comments and description. But again, that is reliant on me editing this, rendering it, uploading it, and remembering to do that. So if so, I'll do that. But yeah, what a great panel to start us off on here with episode 45 of this season. This arc's been very, very, very good. Kubera in general, I really think actually I'm going to be watching Pyro Prima's reactions and trying to catch as many live as I possibly can, because I think seeing somebody else read the series is probably going to help me a lot. Not just going back through the series, seeing other people's thoughts and opinions, having other people in chat live saying, extra information that might be helpful. Things like that, like clearing up things, might be helpful, because Kubera is not just good, but I've said throughout the whole time that it feels like every single little thing in Kubera is important. And not only is it important, but it's not like we have any chapters where I'm like, oh, nothing happened or nothing's going on. A lot of things are going on all the time, every chapter. I am pretty locked in for Kubera most of the time. I'm really having to pay attention to this one. So I'm excited to see what we get this time around. I don't think there's anything else to bring up before I start reading. I will be doing as I've been doing. I'll do the afterwards at the end of each chapter. And I guess that's it, really. Let's just continue on and see what we get this time around. So we're starting off with the panel that we ended last chapter on, actually, with God Kubera and Lise. And actually, I didn't really realize. So to me, I love Kubera's art style, and I suppose the style to me stands out more than the quality in terms of just how much shading goes into a single panel, how many details are in a single panel. I didn't actually realize until watching Pyro's stream today that while the art style, I think, has maintained its consistency, and that's something that I want going forward. I want Kurigam's style to continue because I love the style. While the style has been consistent in what I've read so far, the quality has actually improved a lot. And again, you can argue because it's something that's subjective over whether it's, an improvement or not. But it definitely has gotten more detailed at the very least. But either way, we have the two of them. And then she sits up really quickly. Seriously, why do you always have to pop up out of nowhere? Are you gonna take responsibility if I die of a heart attack? I did not pop up out of nowhere. I was here all along. What? You mean I was lying down there? Nods. I also love something from the very beginning of the series. We have these cute chibi silly panels of characters like Gandharva and Agni, and even here with God Kubera. I love that characters that in other series might be portrayed as too serious just because they're cool, they're allowed to be cool here, but they're still allowed to be funny. We still have these comedic chibi panels with all of them, and I really appreciate that every character basically gets in on the comedy. There are characters that I feel like maybe get in on the comedy less, like Cossack, but it's not that there's no comedy with them. Then why did you let me do that? You should have just laid me on the ground. I did, but you crawled up. Oh gosh, don't put it on me just because I was unconscious. Why would I lay down on your leg like a wooden pillow, that feels like a wooden pillow when there's this fluffy grass? Wooden pillow, he thinks. And if I really did crawl up there, you should have just pushed me away. This is something that would be done between lovers. Why would you just let me do it? By any chance, do you like me? And he's seeing this shade of her future self. At least I'm assuming. And that seems to conflict him, as you would kind of imagine, maybe. And again, I think last week I was saying that it is possible, from some of the things they said, that maybe a part of her having the power of a god's name is that as she gets older and stronger, maybe the original god Kubera will fade because the name passes to her. Since the name is the power, the name is the god, the name is the center of the existence, then if she really takes that power, then the more her power grows, wouldn't his fade? Because there wouldn't be two gods of the same thing, right? Now we have Rift Part 5. Has the fourth exam still not started yet? We didn't get the results from the Sword of Return yet. They said they needed someone to open the door, and since the priestess headed there, it'll soon be taken care of. What? The priestess went there? I doubt it. I saw her just a while ago, and she seemed to be heading out of the temple. And we've got Sagara listening on. Shit, so she did go outside, huh? Now, this is rather good. It'll be much easier to kill her if it's outside the temple. Yuta still stalking, and catches up. Damn it. There are too many people here. What do I do? Things got awkward by letting him go. I should have just killed him when it was just the two of us. Is it the humans that bother him? Or no, not a nervous laugh, but an aha of realization. He was pretending to be a half after all. If so, I have nothing to be worried about. And Sagara just walks off into the crowd. Damn, no, I can't let him slip by. I have no choice. I'll have to give up on eating him. I need to pretend to be a half and fight him. Takes a sword. That kid, he's not even with the other humans. He's just coming after me personally. Is he doing this for that girl? That's odd. Is he really from the tribe of chaos that I know of? Oh no, he keeps moving into a bigger crowd. Has he noticed that I'm conscious of humans? Bumps into someone. Hey, what's wrong? My arm. Jeez, it's broken. What happened? Someone bumped into me. Who? You mean that little kid? I'm sorry, I'll come back later, he writes down. What? What the hell did you just say? You injured someone and what? You'll come back later? Looks like you're a half, am I right? You should be more careful. You should be more careful if you're strong. Where's your sponsor? And not looking good. We're cutting back and forth kind of a bit. The pacing is going nuts here. I'm just kidding. Nothing good'll come out if you like someone like me. Anyway, thank you, mister. You rescued me, right? I remember. Up to where I saw you when I was in so much pain. And she even remembers when she was just the visible eyes in the pile of rubble. I thought it was a dream. Am I still dreaming? And she pinches herself. No, you're not. I see. Then I must have failed the test. I really needed to draw that sword. I guess I am good for nothing. The sword was drawn. What? There it is. The Sword of Return that you drew. I drew it. No way. I don't remember at all. Maybe the shock from your pain made you forget. Go and pull out the sword if you doubt it. Only the owner can touch the Sword of Return, so you wouldn't be able to hold it, even if you didn't draw it. Sorry. Oh, man. Felt like a hiccup was coming on. What if he's only messing with me? What if I get punished for laying a hand on it? But still. She grabs onto it. Huh? And it easily comes out. I did draw the sword. Huh. And it's interesting that it's still being shown to us as just this void silhouette. Wow. I finally accomplished something. This is awesome. Yay. And we still have the serious, forlorn look from God Kubera. Mister? Thank you so much. I almost died even when I actually drew the sword. If it weren't for you, gosh, I don't even want to think about it. Now that I gained the Sword of Return, I've got to train really hard so that nothing like this will ever happen again, or will ever happen to me again. At least you know. Let's go back now. Hold on, wait. Last time, you found the way out for me in the water channel, and you even saved my life this time. Is there anything you want? I'll grant you a wish. I mean, as long as it's something I can do for you. And then to be continued. Really good chapter again. Kubera excels always in the character work stuff. We still have the excitement going on and the, scary what could happen going on, because we've had our group of 4 for like a while now. For the largest portion of the series, we've had our Lise, Asha, Yuta, and Ron group. And it feels like that group is really falling apart, especially if something happens where Yuta gets in trouble somehow pursuing Sagara. We still have Sagara who's hunting down Teo, which is going to put Sagara at odds with what Gandharva's doing right now. Whereas Gandharva can't be like, oh, I'm openly protecting Teo so much, but at the same time, Gandharva wants to find a better path forward. He doesn't want to just he doesn't just want to murder Teo. So we have all of that going on, kind of, I don't know if I'd say in the background or the foreground. I feel like that was almost just as prominent as the Lise and Kubera stuff here. But we have that stuff going on where if something bad happens, what does that mean for the group? What does that mean for Yuta? And since Asha, I believe, was the one who was who signed up to sponsor Yuta, what does that mean when it comes to falling back on Asha? And then, of course, we have Lise, who, wait, no, it wasn't Lise. Who was it that lied and said that they were... No, it was Lise. When Lise was older, they lied and said that they were Rish. So there's that going on, though, of course, they knew it wasn't like the real Rish. So we have that going on, plus Gandharva has seen Lise here, but still maybe doesn't know that Lise is the human with the god's name. That's, I actually think, maybe kind of vague. I mean, they know that the human with the god's name escaped from the village and survived, but I don't know that he specifically knows that that's Lise. Maybe he does because of the... No, maybe not, actually. Maybe he doesn't know that. I was going to say because of the stuff that happened in Atera, but they didn't really interact in Atera. That was her and Agni. And then we have the other stuff in the foreground here is Lise and God Kubera, and of course their relationship's really great. And it seems like whenever we have the moments of them together, towards the end before they left Atera, then again in the waterway, and now here, I don't know. He's just such an interesting character to me, because again, unless I'm forgetting bits of the conflict, a part of the conflict is it would be easier for her to just die now. That would be like the kind of better thing in the grand scheme of things, almost a mercy in his opinion, but he's letting her live, and things are progressing like this. And again, if the name of the god is like the name of the god Agni is fire, other people can be named Agni, but they don't have the power of the name. They can't just control fire. But if somebody did have the power of the name and somebody could control fire, the name itself is the god. The name itself is the power. It is the primordial element or whatever. So if somebody else had the power of the name Agni, then would the Agni that we know weaken as they grew stronger? And we don't even know how a human gets a god's name, or the power of a god's name, but Lise has it. So if Lise has the name Kubera, the stronger she gets and the more she uses the Kubera transcendental skills, the more she grows. Does that mean the more that God Kubera, his existence itself, starts to weaken? Because it feels like that would almost be a kind of trade-off. It kind of feels like there can't really be two fully realized God Kuberas. So, I don't know how this will go, but either way, before we go on to the next one, let's read the afterword. It says, sword under a tree thumbnail. I'm late again, sorry. I was going to take a break after this Rift chapter, but it's not ending. This is the third longest chapter in Season 2, and I was being too risky. I should have taken a break when I finished the last chapter, The Test of the Sword. Thank you so much for cheering on this a pathetic artist like me. We have angry, embarrassed Lise jumping away from God Kubera. These two should have funny moments like this. Yuta can't create this kind of atmosphere. Of course, Yuta makes his own unique atmosphere, so I like him in that regard. Then Yuta facing Sagara. As Asha had said before, Yuta's mental age corresponds to his appearance. He's lived a long time, so he knows about a lot of things and is mature compared to his appearance, but sometimes he thinks like a kid. What this means is that when he develops, not only will his appearance change, but so will his personality. It's similar to how Marina's personality is different now from when he was younger. They don't change slowly over time, but change suddenly after development, so couldn't this be quite shocking? And then we have Lisa's surprise offer. What would be your answer if you were God Kubera? And, I mean, I don't know, I don't really think there's anything particular that Lise could do were I a god. And then 4th character popularity poll, but that's already over. And I assume that I'll check out the results to that at some point eventually, probably. But either way, that's where this one ends. Let's go read episode 46. A wish? I don't know. I've never made a wish before. I guess you're rich and strong enough that you wouldn't need to make any wishes, huh? But there has to be something that you want, no? Even if it's just one, or even if it's just a trivial one. Have you never prayed for anything at all? Pray to who? And again, we had a very similar scene before with Agni. To the gods, of course. Pray to Agni that the weather will be nice. Pray to Asvins that you won't get hurt. And pray to Kubera that you'll get lots of mushrooms. And this is her thoughts of him. I do not pray to the gods. Uh-oh, I thought he was a magician who believes in gods for sure since he uses various kinds of magic. Ah, well, whatever. Each person has the freedom to believe in God. So, there's nothing that you want from me, right? I feel bad to just let it go, though. It's not like I want it, but it would be regretful if I just let it slip like this. It's a chance that will never come again after today, and he's looking a bit less golden now. The color of his hair. The sun will set soon in Calibloom, and you must return before the end of today. What? We're not in Calibloom. She looks out. But the sun's rising here right now. If the sun's going to set in Calibloom soon, how far have we come? He said that I need to return, so he's going to send me back, right? I don't know where we are, but I do think that we have to go back quickly. Or else everyone will worry and I'll end up listening to Asha's nagging for at least 3 hours. It doesn't have to be today. If there's nothing you want from me right now, you can tell me next time. Unfortunately, there will be no next time. What? Lise Hyas. No, Kubera Lise. Could you stay with me? Just for today? Man, that's a really good panel. And true, where are they? Are they like somewhere so far away? He just grabbed her and took her so far away because he's that fast and powerful, as like we've seen how fast people using Kubera spells can be, but he is literally Kubera. So it's like, did they just go really, really far away on, Willarv? Or did they do one of the kind of weird Kubera space things where they went to a totally different planet or even a totally different realm? Is this the realm of the gods or Shura? I doubt it's the Shura realm given what we've seen of it, but it's like, did he take her to somewhere like completely different in a like existential sense? Now we have Season 2, Chapter 46, Rift Part 6. Can't you hear me? Where's your sponsor? Hey, let's just go. It's not like you got hurt or anything. She can be healed by recovery magic. That's not the point. Who's going to pay for the treatment? The sponsor is supposed to be taking care of things like that. We'll have to get at least 10 gold coins for this. What? Look at him glaring at me. You're the one who did wrong. Got it? No. Calm down. I gotta hold it back. Thanks, Yuta. But if I lose any more time, I won't be able to catch him. I have no choice, although this will cause trouble for Asha later. I've got to ignore these people for now. What the hell? How dare you run away? Stop right there. Let me use this. They grab a weapon. You're not leaving like that, half-kiddo. You'd better not try anything foolish. This is made of solid steel. And he crushes it with his hand. We have all of these chibi reactions. And he leaves. We have a Kurigam spotted. I'm going to be trying not to miss any. If I miss any, point them out and tell me you missed one. You weren't paying enough attention. We got one though. And this one is really more like a white gom than a Kurigam. She was pretty tired this week. And then, oh no, did I show too much strength? But at least I don't need to worry about bumping into anyone else since they're moving away from me. Where could that guy be? And then, he's not that far. No, wait, if I run like this, I may hurt someone again. Whatever. I'm sure halves are also capable of this much. He leaps. Everyone looks up at him. And he uses... So it's like the sword is transforming into the different things it's grabbed onto. Okay. This is not what I expected. I was thinking we might have trouble if Teo didn't actually relocate and is like, oh, somebody's causing trouble here. And then Teo and Gintarva show up. They're here right in the middle of like Yuta's going to be in trouble. But also we have Sagara here. And if Sagara didn't try to play things cool, could just try to attack Teo right there. But we have Ryagara, who is totally not blending in particularly, confronting him and showing herself. What the hell? Are the halves fighting each other? So halves can be that different. I mean, it's not like Ryagara looks that different, like they just have really big arms, but that's not a super unusual appearance that people wouldn't still think half. What the hell? Are the halves fighting each other? Looks like it. Then Sagara smiles. I was wondering why he didn't rush to run away. So there was someone with him after all. Did he lure me on purpose? And this means that Yuta could get seen by Marina, and it makes you think, will Marina just recognize Yuta or no? And then, let me ask you one thing. Are you the one who ate 3 Ananta tribe Shuras alive in the woods? He looks surprised. Ah, is she their comrade? Around the same level? Yes, I ate them. What are you going to do about it? To be continued. Jeez. Getting cliffhung once again. Very, very, very good chapter once again. All the character stuff with Kubera is really interesting. Like I've said, I don't know. I'm feeling some death flags. I'm feeling like God Kubera could be losing his powers because of, Lee's gaining her powers. So we have that stuff going on. And then this is compelling because will Yuta be in trouble because he's revealing all of his powers and stuff like that and causing a ruckus and everything? Or will people be okay with it because Ryagara and Sagara are going to be sketchy? Like if they could pretend like they were the victims or something, if they could do that, then I feel like they could just get away while Yuta gets in trouble with the authorities, so to speak. But I don't think they can make that play here, so I don't know where this is going. Either way, though, I don't want to talk too much about something that I'm gonna maybe learn literally at the beginning of next chapter. So let's go into the next chapter, but before then, read the afterword. And the afterword for this week is maybe the chunkiest one we've seen so far. We have the Webtoon Shop events now in progress, but the event's over. The 4th Kubera character popularity poll's in progress. Again, that's over. And now for the actual afterword. Okay. Why is the Sword of Return just black? Yes, it's just black. But when I look at it again, it seems a little strange. I should add highlights a little later. So is that just what it looks like? Is it just like pure Vanta black, essentially? It is just like a black void mass? Is that the actual coloration? Is the main character's weapon too simple? Or it doesn't always have the shape. Is that a spoiler? Okay, so we can see Lee's use it in different shapes, and I don't know, I think we maybe already have in some of the, I was going to say flashbacks, but flash forwards that we've seen. Lee's realizing the time difference. A lot of you thought it was going to be morning in Calibloom, huh? Considering the terms Yuta set for God Kubera, wouldn't that break them? He said to return her to the temple before the end of the day. Of course, God Kubera didn't have much to say about those terms. And then Yuta threatened with a steel weapon. I was going to make this weapon a sword, actually, but bending or breaking a sword might not intuitively show Yuta's strength, so I changed it to a mace. It crumples like paper, even though it's steel. Then we have Yuta's chain attack. It seems as though its basic shape is slowly becoming forgotten, but the identity of this weapon is a sword. Its form looks normal in the shape of a sword, otherwise it glows. And then I fixed the mistake on the shadow with Lisa's cheek and missing dialogue. If Teo's 48 years old and Zard's 51, why is there a 2-year difference in their age? When the test of the sword began, the year became N16, so Teo was reintroduced as 49. Okay, so Teo was 46 before and is 49 now, because of the year changing over. I think that you can't participate in the t-shirt event on mobile. Okay, so not really applicable for me. But either way, with that aside, let's go on to episode 47. I feel like I am going to be an absolute hunchback after all the time I spend, like, recording videos or something. I'm never sitting, like, up straight. I am always, instead of sitting straight, I am leaned all the way in. So either way, let's start reading episode 47. We start with a pulling on Yuta's sword. What the? How's she so strong? Did you just ask what I'm going to do about it? I'll pay you back by doing exactly what you did to them, kid. Then the chain goes slack and we hear a thump. Season 2, episode 47, or chapter 47, Rift Part 7. Now we have Marina still in the distance. What a ruckus. Is there some kind of problem? If it were a signal sent for me, it would have been more clear. But this one is vague. Then it would be better for me to deal with the situation here first, right? Gantarva. And Gantarva and Teo are there. What the hell is he doing here? Marina just approaches. I was in a hurry, so I couldn't really choose what to wear. I should have chosen thicker clothes, but it's a bit chilly out here. And I feel like I should save my Hoti Kubera just in case. I'm not really sure if I can just be out here like this. I need to be in the exhibition match for the 4th test. What are you doing here? And who's the human next to you? By the way, you brought me out here saying you'd accompany me, but you were already injured because of an attack by Ashura when we first met, right? I don't know if I can rely on you, since you don't seem to be strong enough to volunteer as my bodyguard. What are you doing standing there? I was just checking if anyone was following us, he smiles. Could you try not to smile, please? Pardon? No, I was saying that you're quite resilient to cold weather. And then we have the sweat drops. So Marina, I'm assuming, was told to just stay hidden. It is interesting that, I guess I don't really know how, like, sensing powerful beings or whatever really works in Kubera. But even if there is no, like, special sixth sense, unless you're a god, you would think that, one of the strongest fighters, like Teo, would be, I don't know, maybe able to hear Marina approaching or tell in some way, but maybe not. Because, again, I don't really know exactly how that works in Kubera. And he's still just flying above them. Gantarva looks back. Thanks, Marina. And we see him speaking in Shura, and I feel like we have seen that very rarely, if at all, from Gantarva. And I don't think we've seen Marina speak non-Shura before, so I don't even know if Marina can. Or I guess, would that be a situation like Yuta? Because Yuta... Can Yuta speak in Hanshura? I don't know if he can, and that's why he writes. Huh. I don't know if I'm just forgetting too many things, or if it just hasn't been ultra clear yet. Hotias Fiends. And is this a flashback, or are we just cutting over? Rana? Uh-oh, I'm sorry. It's just me, not Rana, so we did just cut over. And then Rana just jumps to attention. Claude, why are you... I was nearby, and came after seeing you fall. You weren't hurt that much, and since I used Hotias Fiends, you'll be just fine now. Just fine without any scars now. Thanks. Claude is such an interesting piece in the mix here, too, because there was so much focus on Claude being here, and then that focus just really went away as we started focusing on the things that the Shura were doing with their infiltration, not really attack going on. So it's like Claude is a really, 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 really strong magician that's in the mix here. Does Claude have some sketchy evil plans? Is Claude actually just good? I really don't know what to read into what Claude's going to do, but you would think, like, he has to be important here. By the way, I need to get to the testing center right now. Lee's is... You don't need to. A substitute supervisor opened the door just a minute ago, and it's been confirmed that the first candidate, Lee's Highest, has disappeared with the Sword of Return. What? Lee's disappeared? Yes, they will soon send out an announcement that the fourth test will be cancelled. And this is maybe bad for Lee. This may be bad for Lee's, because if they brand her a criminal that just stole the sword, that's not good. The Sword of Return was drawn, and we're sending the crowd home without holding a ceremony. They said we cannot hold a ceremony because the person who drew the sword disappeared. Jeez. Where's the princess gone when the situation's like this and we're seeing Elwyn? Do you know where she is right now? She was supposed to be in the exhibition match for the fourth test. She didn't come here. Someone did see her leaving the temple, but they could have seen wrong. If you want to know for sure, go to the fourth testing center. One of the fighters gathered there may have seen her. This is an announcement from the administration office. Since the Sword of Return has been drawn, the test of the sword will be concluded here. All the attendants who were standing by for the fourth test may now return home. What? Someone drew the sword? Who in the world could have... Are they not going to tell us who it is? I heard that the candidate who drew it is supposed to be coming on stage, though. Is it over just like this? Is there some kind of problem? And we hear a bunch of noise that's probably coming from Yuta and Ryagata. They're still fighting? I thought they were practicing for the fourth test. They seem to be fighting quite harsh for practice. Did you think I was on the same level as the Shuras you ate? What an idiot. If you cannot assume how strong the opponent is, you should not provoke them. I can assume my opponent's strength, since, if I encounter an opponent whom I can't defeat, I can't attack them because I tremble. Interesting. Is this like a codified just ability, just a part of Yuta's existence? Is it something that's just usually true? Or is this something that's definitely true, just usually true, or just Yuta overestimating himself? So I guess you're someone that I can defeat in some kind of way. And that looks like the weapon coming in from behind. I really like this panel as well, just the eyes visible for Ryagata. So, you think you can use your weapon to defeat me? You said you would pay me back just the same, right? Okay, so it looks like there was a dodge there. Then, why don't we just leave the temple? We're within the range of turrets here, so we can't even take Shura form. And whoever it be, the winner will not be able to eat the loser. What if I refuse? Then I will ignore you and go after the guy with the blue hair. You were stalling for time so that he could get away, right? How childish. Do you think I'm here alone? There is my comrade outside of the temple, so if you leave this temple you will die. Ah, there's more? That's great. I think they're even using transcendental skills. Should we stop them? I don't want to interfere and get beaten. Why are they still fighting when the 4th test is cancelled? I don't know. They're not even talking, so we can't tell what's really going on between them. And then we have Elwyn there, looking on. And we have to be continued. And Elwyn can understand them, though. So again, Elwyn has just kind of been lurking in the background throughout this arc. As Elwyn, is this where they're going to really come in and find some big importance, being able to hear what's going on in this fight. That's where we end, though. So let's see what the... Hold on. Okay, I was just checking to make sure there wasn't anything else. Let's check the afterword and then maybe read the next chapter. I think I want to stick to doing 4 this week. Afterward starts with Airborne Marina. It seems like he can fly without moving his wings, but he can't fly without the wings. Okay. Teo and Gintarva walk in the snow. Teo no longer sees the possibility that Gintarva's a Gnostica. Seriously. And then Claude and Ron. Does anybody find it awkward that Ron uses informal language, which can be seen as rude in Korean, when speaking to Claude? But Ron's older than Claude. The mystery of quarters. He's not always rude just because he's older. Claude is a priest, so many people use polite language with him no matter their age. But in Ron's case, his brother and uncle are both priests, so he thinks that priests are nothing special. That makes sense, like it's just something he's used to. And then, this is the 3rd time in Season 2 that his eyes have looked like this. We have Blue-Eyed Yuta. Doesn't he remind you of his mother? And then something about the 4th popularity contest. Okay, not much going on in the afterward. Very good chapter once again. I'm interested to see what happens with the Ryagara-Yura fight. That's more just an action thing, and there's some character stuff going on, but it's not really as deep as some of the other character things we have going on. Marina's just kind of lurking around Teo and Gintarva, but it's like, what will Gintarva do at the end of this situation? Because it seems to me like Gintarva wants to find, a better way to do things. But I could be totally wrong, and Gintarva's just wanting to go out and kill Teo. But the thing is, if Gintarva kills Teo, if he even can, because we know she's supposed to be incredibly strong, and he's probably not at his strongest here. I think that Shuras, when in the human world, are nerfed to a certain degree. Plus, we don't know what other, extenuating circumstances could be happening personally to Gintarva. So let's assume he can win, and he does, then it's like, okay, well then why did he go through the lengths he did to basically save her, in a way, from Sagara? And I think if he does still end up killing Teo, then it's because he wanted to do it himself rather than Sagara doing it. But yeah, that's, again, intriguing stuff. Every single part of this is so cool. So let's see what happens with the next one. Okay, time to finish things out with episode 48, our last one this week. Would it be alright to leave the Sword of Return here? What if someone steals it? No one else other than you can take it anyway. Oh yeah, because once... So he was the one that pulled it out, though. But I guess maybe because they both have the power of the name, Lise can just have it now. So Lise can just have the sword and use the sword now. And because of what we learned about the sword's qualities, until Lise dies, nobody else can use it, right? So... yeah, if anybody else tries to take it, nobody else can do it until Lise dies. So it's a permanent thing now, really. I'm coming with you for now, since there's no way of getting back by myself, but there's nothing you can do with me, mister. You want me to massage you all day long, or something? Never mind, if you don't want it. I'm really good at giving massages, though. By the way, how'd you know my name? You said that my name isn't really my name, and it was a good idea to use a fake name even when we first met. So I had a hunch about it, but I didn't expect you to know my full name. So this means you did a background check on me, right? Why would you do such research on someone like me anyway? Gosh, this is frustrating. Mister, you know what? I'm just holding it to myself, but if it were someone else, anyone would tell everyone about you and do background checks on you. Honestly, everything is suspicious about you. He covers her mouth. Would you please not ask me any questions, as you've done so far? And then, there you go again. I told you not to touch my hair, you old man. How ungenerous. Or how ungenerous, he says. What do you mean, ungenerous? You didn't mean to spend all day touching my hair, right? Of course not. I want to have an ordinary day, just like a normal human being, for the last day. Normal? That would be difficult for you. You're too perverted for that. Fine. Then, we'll do whatever you want to do. Recommend something which ordinary people would do. And then this, again, is very cool. This just... I don't know. It feels like almost we should just focus more on this, because it's like... This feels like such a huge thing for the series, if this is the end for God Kubera. We have Rift Part 8. Did you not see Elise coming out of here? No, I've not. What about someone else? A man in a black cloak, for instance. That feels very Kingdom Hearts-ish. A man in a black cloak? A black cloak. I'm not sure about such a man, but I saw Yuta jumping down after purple smoke evaporated. Yuta. I see, so Yuta went in. I need to tell Asha about all of this. Ashirahiro left quite a while ago. What? She seemed to be heading toward the testing center after the huge noise, but she stopped and came back out. If it was right after the noise, it's around the same time I was there. Okay, and then? I don't know. She used Totivayu after that, so I don't know where she went. But wouldn't it be better to look for Yuta for now? He seemed to be heading toward the 4th testing center. And now we see the testing center. You're too confident to the point which makes you reckless. Are you planning on fighting me and my comrade both at once? You ate 3 Upanis not so long ago. What's the reason for you to be so eager to hunt again? I'm sure you have enough vigor already. For you guys, hunting is an option for replenishing your vigor. I'm very jealous of that. 'Cause you wouldn't die, even if you don't hunt. What does that mean? Does that mean that you would die if you don't hunt? Is that a part of him being like half god, half Shura? There's no need for you to know the details, because... And we have... Elwyn's trembling. Oh, and Yuta notices. I can only listen, but you can even talk in Shura language. That's so amazing. I heard that it was only Cossack who can talk in Shura language in our planet. Did you learn it all by yourself? That's so cool. Could you teach me how to do it? I'll teach you next time. I have something to do right now. Okay, I'm going to the temple now, so I'll see you when the test of the sword starts. My name is Elwyn Rakan. I'm Yuta. This is bad. If she listened to everything I said, she should know that I'm a Shura. Well, what you heard just now is... That half must be an acquaintance of yours, right? Or acquaintance of yours, huh? Oops. And then Ryagata goes after Elwyn. What? When did she? She's damn fast. She'd do well in the fighter championship. Who's her sponsor? Isn't the sponsor the blue-haired one from earlier? Hold on. Where did that blue-haired guy go? Are you a half who understands the Shura language? You're coming with me. And Elwyn gets grabbed. Let go of her. She has nothing to do with me. And again, Elwyn, who's related to Teo here, is being wrapped into things even more. So we're again just having more of these interconnected characters becoming even more interconnected. The spider web is getting woven even more chaotically. I mean, I know it's like all purposeful, but, you know, it's getting even more crazy. Let her go. She has nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with you. You need to learn how to hide your emotions from showing through your face when you lie, kiddo. And then Ryagata just turns to leave. Hey, isn't that kidnapping? I don't know. Go help her. But that woman is scary. There's so many humans around here. How come no one is helping her? Hey, move aside. Why? Someone had her arm broken after she bumped into that kid. Wasn't it someone really weak or something? I heard he even crumbled solid steel with his bare hands. Gosh, and he's attracting even more attention. I think they're leaving the temple. We should have heard about such strong halves like them. Maybe they'd been living outside and recently got sponsors recently. It was a good thing that the fourth test was cancelled. We could have ended up with competition we could have ended up competing with halves like them, right? It doesn't matter. I was hoping we would leave the temple anyway. Even if she runs, I can catch up. As long as she's not a Garuda, there's no way she can be faster than me. We have a hand grabbing on. Oh. And is Marina not even going to see again or recognize Yura? But he's swooping in to pick up Ryagata. And, in turn, Elwyn. I kind of really want to read the rest of this. But I have to end the video eventually, sadly. So I'll end here. We got 2 more chapters to go next time, plus the Q&A. And I'll, again, just keep trying to do more and more and more. But either way, with that at the end, let's read our last afterword. In the last afterword of the week, we have Lee's and God Kubera. I like drawing them like this. Isn't it heartwarming? Then normally Shuras can survive without hunting. They will lack vigor and be unable to use transcendentals, but that's it. Okay, so they don't actually die of hunger or anything. It's just to replenish the mana, essentially. Then, Ryagata and Elwyn. Unni's here. In the previous episode, when Ryagata's hand was pushing Yuta's head, some of you commented that Yuta's head was too small. That's wrong. Ryagata has big hands. If they slap you, they'll send you straight to hell. They're that big. And then crowd parting for Yuta. The crowd doesn't even try to stop him and is quick to avoid him, but just enough so that everyone can watch. The strongest individuals were either with Lees waiting to draw the Sword of Return, Zard, Clary, etc., or had failed in previous attempts and gave up, Teo, Airi, etc. So the fighters at the 4th Test Center are just those who wouldn't dare to interrupt Ryagata and Yuta. Okay, that again is a good way to explain away like why nobody super strong is getting involved. All the super strong people have either already went or have already given up. And yeah, that is it for this week. So either way, I think it's safe to go ahead and end the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I really enjoyed these 4 chapters. Again, next time I'll finish out the last 2 chapters of Rift. I'll do the Q&A special. It might be a little bit shorter, but then after that, we've got the next arc, then the next arc. Again, this is just going to continue on to be a weekly thing. So, you know, continuing on from there, thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of these chapters, my first thoughts and reaction to them. I'd love to talk to you down in the comments. Subscribe for more on the channel if you want to. It'd be very much appreciated. Would love to eventually hit 10k subs, and then again, it's like, do I even want to hit 100k? It's like, on the one hand, it'd be amazing. I would get like an actual physical play button. On the other hand, is that too much attention? Is that too much pressure? But, you know, subscribe if you want to. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. Just ask. And if you want to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks, that is appreciated. If you want to help support the channel by becoming a patron or member, you can also get your name at the end of every single video and also get One Piece videos a little bit early. So, you know, if you want to, hit join down below to become a channel member. Go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Thank you so much to people who are already patrons and channel members. Thank you to Chosen Regular, Heaven Holly, Magical Girls, Efrainono, Abyss Knight, JA, and the D-Ban, Cheriton Students, David Langstaff, and Folded Goal, Slayer Candidates, SG, and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element, Pate Ardial. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.